Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. As you can see, I'm holding my little, it's actually a garden stone that says shine, and it's the sun. And you can see how it catches the sun and sparkles. And I actually keep this in my yoga room just to remind us that when we practice our yoga stretches, we are preparing ourselves to shine our light, to feel that inner connection that you create when you are mindful in meeting yourself. So I welcome you all today, and remember that your stretching and breathing really also then has the mindful component of taking you deeply into your inner space where you start to bring the best of you to yourself and to everyone around you. Okay. Great. So we will be starting shortly. I wanted to also remind you again to make sure you have any props that you'll need. Have a chair ready. We will be doing our restorative yoga legs up at the end of our flow series of stretching. We're going to be working today with hip openers, a little bit of that to make sure that we're getting that full um, benefit of becoming more flexible. When you open the hips and the hamstrings, you have better low back health. You also then have health all the way up the spine. So we will be opening up the hips a little bit today. And we will start, get a prop. We're going to do a little standing to warm up first, then come sitting for setting some intentions for your practice. So get any of the props you need and then join me coming to your mat standing. We're going to start standing and then we'll go to sitting. All right, here we go. So I'll meet you on your mat. Okay, good. So you're going to come to stand in the middle of your mat, and this is called Toss the Pebble. It is actually a Tai Chi warm up or a Qigong exercise. And anytime the arms are moving in Qigong, you're clearing the organs in that space and the energy around that space. And so we're doing that today with Toss the Pebble. So your feet are a little wider than hip width apart. This is going to be our warm up for the joints and for clearing the energy body before we come to sitting. And we start with the arms in a T. So feet are a little wider than hip width apart, and the arms are in a T. Then, just for the idea of getting the movement, you take the right arm in front of you as you bend the elbow, and the left arm passes behind, and you toss the pebble. Then you bend the knees as you come back to the T, and then you toss the pebble and bend and toss. Okay. So there's a little bit of bouncing that happens, but you're always in a 5-pointed star in a neutral position as you come back to the arms and the T. Okay. Now, the idea is that we're throwing away any negativity, any anxiety, any heaviness, baggage that you might be feeling either in the body, in the emotions. So that's part of what this exercise is about. It's about clearing. Okay. And we're also warming up the joints. So we're going to start again with the right arm coming in front, the left arm behind. So we're going to sweep right arm in front, left behind as you bend the knees, then back to the T position, and then toss to the left and T. Exhale as you toss, inhale, exhale, inhale, toss the pebble, good, and toss, great, toss, toss the pebble, and toss. Exhale it out as you toss. Release anything that you don't need to hold on to. Toss the pebble, toss. One more, toss, and then back to the T. Good. Just a little bit of warm up and release. Starting to set that intention of bringing yourself into this moment and just leave everything behind that is not related to what you'll be doing now in your yoga practice, knowing that when you come back to it after you do your yoga, you will be in a better place to manage whatever is needing your attention next. Okay? Great work. So we're going to come onto the floor and sitting. So come to sit. Use a pillow or prop under the seat bones if you have a little bit of tightness in the legs or joints, and you can sit with one leg out or the legs crossed, whatever feels good. Good. And especially because we're doing this as a home practice and you're not in a group class setting, taking the time to set an intention is important to keep yourself grounded and focused. So we're going to bring the palms face up today. Just resting, palms face up, shoulders relaxed. Drop your chin towards your chest for a moment, lengthen the back of the neck. And then lift the chin up toward the ceiling and wrap the lower lip around the upper lip. Then bring your head back to neutral. Good. And remember to lift the heart, but relax the shoulders. So we want that nice tall spine. And you're learning to do that. Sitting on a folded blanket or a cushion can help you to relax into a tall spine so that you're not struggling with sitting on the floor. Okay. So now with the eyes closed, you're gently looking down. Just take these next few moments to go inward. So we're going to use the breath as you inhale, go deeper inside, and as you exhale, clear out anything that you can release on the breathing out. That makes more room. Inhale, take yourself deeper into your own experience. And as you exhale, you're releasing, creating more space inside. And after 2 or 3 more rounds of just going deeply on the inhale to your inner space, remember, recall, and reflect on what your intentions are to create for yourself, your well-being, your life. It's a beautiful, noble thing to do, to touch into your heart space and listen. Just breathing here, recalling what you are creating for yourself. And then plant those intentions like seeds in the heart and in the mind so that your feelings and your thoughts begin and continue to reflect those intentions, manifesting them into your life. And then gently open your eyes, coming back to the external with an awareness that you were just internal, and you're bringing that intention with you into your movement, into your awareness. Good job. All right, so we are going to now start with coming into the table. Good. We always want to warm up that spine a little more. So let's go into chin and tailbone up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin and tailbone under. Inhale, flex. Exhale, round. Inhale, flex. Breathe it out. Pull the belly in, round the back. And one more. Inhale, concave back, flexing. And then exhale, tucking the chin and tailbone round. Good. Come back to a flat back. Nice. All right. So we are going to do our balancing warm-up. Once again, still working on getting strong in the joints, in the upper body, in the core. Right hand reaching out, left foot touching back. Lift the heel if that feels good for you. Or you can keep the toes on the floor, reach in 2 directions, and keep the breath steady. Good. Breathe for 2 more rounds. Nice steady breaths. Don't hurry out of the pose. We want to challenge that work, doing good work, and then back to the table. Good. Feel grounded. And then we're going to do the other side. Left hand reaching out, right toe stepping back. Lift that heel if it feels good to you and reach out through the toes and fingers. The belly is pulled in a bit, but don't hold the breath. So you want to have awareness that you are tightening the abs, doing good work for the core. We're doing good work for strengthening the bones. Good job. Breathe with it. And release. Good work. All right, so we're going to work on opening up hips today, and we're doing that with being in our table pose. Back up just a little bit on your mat, and then we're just going to step your right foot forward. So you're going to step the right foot forward. Now, once you do that, walk your toes toward the top of your mat a little more, because when you sink into your hips, you want your knee to be stacked over the ankle. So we don't want the knee way out over the toes. So make that adjustment by walking your toes forward a bit. And then lift the chin and lift the heart up and out so that you create a long spine while you sink down into the hips. Okay, feel that stretch. And take 3 nice long breaths with it now. Breathe in and out. And inhale, breathe in. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And exhale. And then you're going to bring the upper body up. Now, this is a little bit of a balancing pose. So you really have to hold your center, feel grounded. If you have some issue with the knee, you may want, and I know some people do have a little towel that they can fold under the knee or an extra yoga mat if you need more cushioning under that knee. So do what works to protect yourself there and honor your edges. Good. And here we are now in a nice balancing pose in which we're going to do a little more work to sink into the hips. So we're going to take the left fist, make a fist, bring it to the outside of that right bent knee, and bring your right hand to rest on your lower back. So you kind of tuck it behind you. And then you're going to look over the right shoulder. So we're coming into a twist. Sink down into the hips a bit. Breathe. And then release. Good. Now take those arms up or out in a T if that helps you balance better. Either way is fine. Sink into the hips. Good. And then lower your hands on either side of that front foot. Now we're still getting that opening in the hips. If you've had enough, you can come out of this pose, sit and rest, or come into the table or child's pose. We're going to continue with one more advancing bit of work here, and that's lifting that left knee up. So your right knee is bent, your left knee is off the floor. This is strengthening the legs. If you want to stay right there, that can be your edge, or you can bring your hand on top of that bent knee. And you can stay right there or bring your arms in a T or up over alongside the ears. And you're just finding that edge and then lowering the hands, drop that knee, and walk your hands back so that you straighten the right leg. You're going to take that bent leg and straighten it out. Sit back towards your heel a bit and get a nice little hamstring stretch. Breathe. And then walk back forward, sink into the hips one more time. Good work. Now walk that right foot back. Bring it back to the table. Sit back towards your heels. Just rest a moment and rest and soften. Let that work in the hips integrate into the lower back. And then come back to the table. We'll do that whole series on the other side. So step the left foot forward and then walk your toes forward a bit so that when you sink down into the hips, you have that nice right angle in the knee and the knee is stacked over the ankle. Sink down into the hips, lift the chin and chest a bit so that you're lengthening the spine. Good work. And then walk your hands up on that bent left knee. Good. You can sink in again if you want. Just start to open up a little bit more. And then make a right fist, bringing it to the outside of the left bent knee. Left hand on the lower back, look over the left shoulder. Great for core building. If you want to sink down a bit, you can into the hips again. Breathe. And then release. Come back to the center. Now you can bring the arms up alongside the ears and sink, or bring the arms in a T if that's better for finding your center for staying balanced. Either way is fine. Keep the breath going. And then lower those hands back down on either side of that front foot. Good. You can feel we're sinking into those hips. Curl the right toes under. Lift the right knee. Now, if you just stay right there, even if you don't hold it long and you drop that right knee back down, you're strengthening those legs a bit. Or you can bring your hands up on top of that left knee. Good. And then stay right there. Or take the arms in a T or up alongside the ears. Breathe. Lower the hands back down. Drop the knee. And let's stretch that left leg out. Walk the hands back, straighten that left knee, fold forward a bit, get a hamstring stretch in that left leg. Good. Keep the breath going. We might be finding some edges here that you don't get into. We're getting into the nooks and crannies of the hips and the hamstrings. And then walk back into one more deep stretch into the hips. Good. And then this time we're going to walk the right foot forward. So your right toes are curled under, lift the knee up, step the right foot forward, and then lift up to standing. Reach up and out, press the hips forward, and then bring palms in front of the heart. Good work. And so we are in our standing position again, and we're going to work on the triangle into the warriors, getting that flow into the body. So take your feet as wide as you comfortably can without feeling unsteady. The wider the stance, the more stretch you're going to get in the hamstrings, the hip girdle. So work on keeping those feet at a nice distance, 3.5 to 4 feet apart in time as you work that stance open. And we're going to turn the feet to the right. So the right foot goes 90 degrees, the left foot 45 degrees. So you make that little turn to the right with the left foot. Good. Hips come back toward the front, tuck the tailbone, arms in a T. Now kick out that left hip, reach toward the right wall, and then paddle that right hand down, the left arm up into our nice triangle today. Breathe into what you're feeling right now. This is the now moment of this triangle, having a conversation in the body. If you go deeper than the knee, it's because you're creating length in the waist and in the spine. So lift up out of that right rib cage, reach out over the leg as you take the right hand deeper if you can find a deeper edge. Breathe with it. Good. You can look up at the hand in the air if you want. Listen to your neck. Now stay anchored in the left heel. As you take that hand that's in the air behind you, tuck it behind the back and rotate your ribs up toward the ceiling and breathe into opening the torso a little more. Nice long breaths. And then you can stay right there if that feels better for your shoulder, or walk that hand back up into full triangle. Good. And then press into your feet. Come back up to standing and bend your right knee, stacking it right over your ankle. Good. Arms in a T. Look out over those right fingertips. Pull in the belly and lift the heart. So get that real sense of a strong warrior stance. The breath is steady. And then take that left hand down the left leg, bring the right hand up into dancing warrior. And turn the palm backwards and arch. Keep a steady breath with this. Good job. And back to the T position. Good. Lower the arms. Turn to the right. Sink back into the lower body so you're nice and strong. Take those arms out or up so you're finding your edge. Lift the heart. Celebrate the victory of meeting life's challenges with success. Breathe. Proud warrior. Lowering the arms, hands on the low back. We're going to straighten the front leg, press into the back heel, come flat back into teepee pose. Long, deep breaths. Lift back up to standing. Bend your knee one more time. So right knee bent, stacking the knee right on top of the ankle. And then you're going to bring that left elbow to the right leg. You turn to your right, looking over the right shoulder. Bring the elbow to the leg. Keep the heart lifted. You can keep that other hand on the low back. Don't collapse down. Keep lengthening out through the top of the head. Breathe. And unwind. Back to the center. Good work. Okay, turn the feet forward first. And let's just take 3 cleansing breaths. So remember, when you are building a yoga practice, you're releasing toxins. We've moved into places in the body where we're opening, where we don't usually open. And I see that my dog has come into the room today. Hello, Dale. Say hello to everybody. This is Dale, our rescue dog. You want to turn and look at the camera? Turn around, turn around. Say hi, say hi. Good boy, good boy. Okay, I'll be right back. Come see Grandpa. Come see Grandpa. The joys of having animals in the family. So he's quite a delight. Happy you got to meet him. All right, so we're going to do the cleansing breaths before we do our triangle to the other side. So let's go into shrugging the shoulders with an inhale up toward the ears, out through the mouth. Inhale. One more inhale. Let it all out. Good job. And then we're going to move into the other side. So take your feet. Wide stance again. Turn your left foot all the way, and then turn that right foot toward the left. Hips toward the front. Tuck the tailbone. Arms in a T. Kick out the right hip. Reach toward that left wall. So you set the hip girdle into a nice stretch. And then we paddle the arms over. Good. And you can stay right there or keep reaching out with the upper body over the leg while lifting the left rib cage so that you don't collapse. If you go any deeper, just find your edge. Anchor into that back heel. You can look up at the hand in the air if it's okay for your neck. Breathe. Good work. Now take that hand behind you. Right hand tucks behind, rotate the ribs up toward the ceiling. Long, slow, deep breaths as we open up the rib cage, the torso, opening up that hip a little more. Good job. Good. Then you can take that arm back up if it feels good to go back into full triangle. Breathe with it. Good. And then press into your feet. Back up to standing. Bend your left knee, stacking the knee right on top of the ankle. And if you want a wider stance or deeper squat, you're going to walk the toes forward a little bit so that you still protect that knee to stay stacked on top of the ankle. Look out over the left fingertips. Now, reaching out in two directions, relax the shoulders. Notice if you had tension in the shoulders that didn't need to be there. Good. I am the warrior, creating the strength and stamina to meet my goals. And then dip back. Good. Dancing warrior. Turn the palm, arch. Back to the warrior pose. Now, lower the hands, turn to the left. Connect into the body, lower body anchored, and take those arms out or up. Just finding your edge, breathe with it. Celebrate the victory of meeting life's challenges with success. Lower the arms, hands on the low back. Straighten the front leg. And we come forward into TP pose. So we're strengthening the legs here and lengthening the spine a bit. You can just come flat back, or if you want, you can hang deeper. So you're just working at your edge. Breathe with it. Back up to standing. Bend the knee one more time. Good job. Now we take that right arm to the left leg, and you're going to look over your left shoulder. So you come into a twist, looking over your left shoulder, and wherever your arm is, make sure that you lift the heart. So you don't want to collapse again. Lengthen the spine. And then unwind back to the center. Good job. All right, so we're going to come back to the center of your mat, and we're working on a little bit of balancing today. We're going to work with pencil and move into a variation of the beginner's dancer. So we're starting with lengthening and strengthening the whole right side of the body. You're going to bring the right hand and arm up against the right ear or near the ear. You're going to stand on your right foot, bring your left toes to the floor, lift the heart. So we're always lifting to plant deeper into that foot you're standing on. Keep that arm in the air, reaching up and out. Now, if this is your edge with the left toes on the floor, you're still doing wonderful patterning work. You're strengthening the right side of the body. As you feel planted, you can start to lift your left toes up and take that knee to whatever height you want to take it. Good. When you lower, bring the arm down, bring 2 feet back to the floor, and feel how you plant deeply back into 2 feet. A strong foundation. We're going to do this side one more time. We're going to add bringing the arm straight out from shoulder height. So we're going to start with the arm alongside the ear. Plant down into the right foot, reaching through the right fingers. Left toes comes to the floor. Lift up and out. Now you can stay right there, or you can take those toes a little higher, find your edge, and then whether the toes are on the floor or lifted, you're going to bring your right hand down to shoulder height. It takes some mastery, some sense of concentration, and then go back up into that lengthening pencil. Come back down. Good job. And then lower. 2 feet back on the floor and feel that solid foundation and the gratitude of 2 feet planted and two strong legs. Okay. Let's do it on the other side now. Left arm along the left ear. Right toes come to the floor. Lift the heart. And that hand is just resting either at your side or on the thigh, right thigh. If this is your edge, you're gaining an body awareness of being planted, of finding your center, of strengthening the left side of the body. And if you haven't done it yet, you can lift those toes up. Good. The pencil pose here on the left. And when you lower, mindfully return right foot to the floor, connecting into two legs evenly. Good job. Now we're going to add that variation. This is just about finding your center because you're challenging yourself in the core there, okay, to find that center of gravity. So go with that left arm back up along the left ear, right toes to the floor, lift the heart. You can stay right there and move into here and back up, or challenge that edge. Lift the toes. Feel planted, stay focused. Finding a point in front of you helps to steady you. Bring that left hand down to shoulder height. Good. Take it back up. Move back down into beginning dancer pose. And then lower. 2 feet back on the floor. Good. Now, if you know that is a little bit of a challenge, just start with the pencil and work on becoming strong and holding those toes a little off the floor. And then start challenging more of your edge as you consistently work with that variation to create more strength, more groundedness, more focus. Okay, great job. Let's go into a wide stance for breath of joy. So we're going to inhale 3 times in through the nose, then 1 long out breath through the mouth. We're going to add arms for aerobics to move oxygen through the body. So we breathe in, and sweep down out through the mouth. 3 rounds. Ready? In, breathe in and ha. Inhale, in, ha. 1 more. Breathe in and out. Good. And just feel how you're letting more flow enter the body by oxygenating and eliminating. Good work. So we're going to move on to the floor, releasing the back by bringing knees to chest. So you're going to come to lie on your back. Bring knees in and rock side to side and just massage out the back of the body, holding on to each knee with one of the hands and just thanking the back for all that good work during your standing poses. Breathe. And drop your feet to the floor. Good. And then walk the heels towards you a little bit. Feet about hip width apart. We're going to move into the bridge. So arms can be at your sides, or another arm variation is arms over the head up on the floor above the head. The arms over the head will help you shift some awareness in the shoulders, creating shoulder and neck strength. But just listen to what works for you today. You're going to press down into the feet and lift the hips up toward the ceiling. This is a lift up with the hips. Feel the squeeze in the buttocks that's supporting that lower back. Chin is tucked just a bit, so you're lengthening the neck. Hold a ball between the knees. Now, if your legs are walked out a little too far, you're not going to feel that nice stance to hold yourself up. But if you walk your heels too close to you, your knees may be over your toes. So kind of play around with that sense of feeling grounded, but without straining the knees. Keep that lift for another 2 nice long round breaths. Then rolling 1 vertebrae at a time, returning the spine to the floor and round the back, knees to chest. And just really drink in that nice work again, releasing the spine into the floor. Good. Drop your feet to the floor. We'll do 1 more round. Feet are pressing down, press the hips up. Now you can start walking your arms underneath you and keeping the elbows straight. Just kind of tuck the shoulder blades under. And that's a way to start opening up the chest while you're creating your back bend. Breathe. If you have flexibility, you can interlace your fingers and pull those hands down toward the feet as you press the hips up toward the ceiling. Breathe with it. Good. And slowly return. Spine to the floor. Rest into that support and bring knees into the chest and round the back. Good. And then gently rock up to sitting or roll to one side and nurture yourself up to sitting. Okay, and we're going to work in our sitting twist. Now that we're nice and warmed up, so you're going to bring that left leg out straight and bring the right knee to bend, crossing the foot over the straight leg, or bringing your right foot right next to that straight inner left leg. So whatever is a better edge for you. Anchor that bent knee either with your hand or hook your arm. It's okay to hold on. Reach out with the right hand, sit tall. Watch your fingertips with your eyes as you wind up to the right. And then bring your hand to the floor, keeping it close to the body so you're not leaning back. Keep a tall spine. Long, slow, deep breaths. Massaging liver and gallbladder here on the right. Those deep breaths, toning and purifying the organs. Lift that right hand up, wind back around to the center. Then go past the center over toward the left and look over the left shoulder, totally unwinding the spine. Good. Back to the center. You can bring your foot to the inner left leg or keep the foot and ankle crossed over the left leg. And we open up the joints here on the right. Pull the left toes towards you as we begin a nice hamstring stretch by folding over the lower body. Breathe. As you breathe and relax where you can, the hamstrings will begin to relax. And you might be able to move forward deeper into your stretch. Remember, just honoring the edge, not forcing. When the body feels safe, it heals. So we want to take a comfortable conversation in a way that we feel stretched, but we can relax with it to breathe. Getting the most out of our yoga practice. Long, deep breaths. And roll back up to sitting. Good. Let's unwrap that leg. We're going to go to the other side. Shake out the legs. And bring that left foot up or cross it over the right leg. Pull the right toes towards you if you want that little bit of activation in the leg. And sit tall. Anchor with the right hand. Reach out with the left, winding up. Wind up the spine now to the left. And then bring your left hand to the floor, lift the heart, and look over the left shoulder. Long, slow, deep breaths now, massaging spleen, pancreas, and digestive system. Deep, steady breaths, massaging into the organs as you compress them in the twist. We're also getting all those nice nerve endings along the spine, some nice squeeze and activation. Lifting the left hand, wind back to the center. Come across the center toward the right and look over the right shoulder for a counter stretch. Good. Back to the center. And resting that left foot and ankle on the floor with the leg crossed, or you can bring that foot to the inner opposite leg if that works better for your joints. And we're going to fold forward, once again, finding an edge to lengthen out over the lower body. And breathe. And then roll back up to sitting. Good. And take that left leg back out, shake out the legs. All right, so one double hamstring stretch. Lift the arms today and take some length out of the waist, up and out. Take the upper body out over the lower body. Remember, if your hamstrings are tight and you're sitting on a prop, it's going to shift those hips forward a bit for you to have a little bit more forward movement in the hip girdle to help relax you into your hamstring stretching. Breathe. Good. Long, deep breath. And then rolling back up to sitting, shake out the legs. All right, so now we're ready for the restorative portion of your work. After you've done all this wonderful warming, cleansing, toning, flushing, strengthening, and flexibility, we're moving now into grabbing your chair or putting legs up on the wall to come into a supported shoulder stand. So grab your chair. Good. And then you just sit next to the chair sideways. Take the legs up and rest. Continuing the awareness now of breath moving in and out. Hands can rest on the belly if you want to feel the rise and fall of your own breath. If that helps you stay a little more connected, if you tend to have racing thoughts, anxiety, if you're having any pain in the body from an injury or whatever that you're nurturing, staying very anchored in the breath in the body can help you master being present in the moment. If you prefer to have your arms at the sides, palms facing up, you can rest those arms. That helps relax the shoulders, relaxing the neck and face. Keep the breath slow and steady and smooth. And sense and feel how the body is getting heavier and grounded, and the breath is refining and slowing and cooling the nervous system, we are moving into this anti-gravity conversation in the skeletal system, feet, ankles, knees, hips, and spine are all suspended, decompressing from life, decompressing from gravity. The nervous system, immune system, circulatory system, all being recovered and restored. Remaining in a state of deep breathing in your inversion, knowing that the longer you remain here, the more you are having a conversation that helps that part of the nervous system that relaxes, recovers, and restores to become healthier, to get the chance to speak to all of the systems of the body. If you enjoy this, you can always do this pose a little longer, just to allow the body recovery time, the mind to learn to slow down and rest, and the emotions to ground. And then gently release legs from the chair by drawing knees in toward the chest, or legs from the wall if you are doing that variation of a supported shoulder stand, and gently come back up to sitting. Find your seat bones as you come to sitting. Use a prop if it helps you to have a tall spine, and sit lifting the heart up off of the waist and out through the top of the head. We're going to practice our three sacred sounds of awe today. So bring both palms up first. Let's just go into a point of a symbol of receiving, palms up on the knees or legs. The sound of awe is a sacred sound in the words Amen, Hallelujah, God, and many other sacred words that represent an inner frequency, a vibration, a blessing. And when we make that sound with our own voice, we are clearing, harmonizing, and balancing. So we're going to do our three sacred sounds of awe. This might be something that feels a little different when you're not in a group. Be willing to be brave and make your three sacred sounds. We're going to say awe three times using the whole out breath. So breathe in. Inhale. One more round. Breathe in. And then silently settle back into quietly abiding in your inner space. Connecting back into the seeds that you planted, reflecting and reviewing on your intentions again for your practice and for your life. And keeping that left palm up, turn the right palm down now, with the intention to receive the benefits of your work and plug them into your own well being. Quietly abiding in your inner space. Letting the body and the systems, the mind, the emotions harmonize and balance. And then bringing palms together in front of the heart in prayer pose, honoring the peace and calm, harmony, strength, and wisdom within you. May the merit of this practice benefit your own well being and the well being of those around you. Peace, peace, and only peace. And gently open your eyes. Namaste. All right, everyone. Wonderful that you could make it and join us here again today. Hello to everyone who is catching this on the replay. I hope that you are feeling the benefits of yoga practice. Be well.